great day.
I hadn't really heard of Bernie Sanders before he announced his candidacy. You know, I got excited because everything that he says makes a whole lot of sense. I got really into it, and I tried to go around and get everybody I knew to vote for him.
So I try to interact with people as soon as they get through the door, make sure that they feel like they're part of something when they're in here. Well, here we do phone banking. We also do what we call canvassing, where we go knocking on doors.
You can rearrange them too.
I usually do
Either
that.
convince people to vote for Bernie, or if they are already voting for Bernie, make sure that they know where to go to vote, their polling location.
Lead the way.
12.
When did you get involved?
8 months. 8 months I've been following him, like with emails
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah. Oh wow.
But this is my first walkthrough.
Yeah. Cool.
It's just now I decided to step it up.
I think he represents the population of New York better than any other politician. Of the United States, exactly.
Right.
He represents the whole person and the whole country, like our wholeness, you know.
So for me, like, he's had my vote since like day one.
So refreshing. So when people come to the door, they're for Bernie. And then everyone else is just in church, praying for Bernie to win. That's what I think.
I'm actually surprised of the level of enthusiasm and support that Bernie has in this area here in Flatbush. Every single ethnicity, and I'm also very surprised with the average age of the people.
We're volunteering to check if you're coming out to vote on April 19th.
We actually are.
Nice.
Oh, are you supporting Bernie or Hillary?
You are? Yay, so happy to hear it. Yes, seriously.
My role here is basically making sure that all of the support that's out there is actually materialized in individual votes come Tuesday.
I think it might be a little difficult for him because all these people that he's getting to pay attention now who are independents or whatever are screwed and can't vote. So I think that might hurt him a little bit, but I think at the end of the day it's going to go well. Even if he doesn't get the nomination, which I think he will, I think he's created a big, big movement, which is part of his campaign. I mean, you look out at stuff like this and, you know, the rallies that he's having, 20,000 people plus, and you can't really believe that at a certain point, you know. We got there like 5 hours early and the streets were absolutely packed. And there were lines going everywhere. There were so many people. And you could just see, like, when you're in there and you look off in every direction, you can just see that all the streets on every direction were just packed with people.
I just think that he's forming a movement, and I want to be part of that movement. The movement is basically, let's get the truth out. Let's talk about what's really affecting the American people.
And I think I worry a lot about education, just because there's so many people that are not as privileged enough to go to universities and colleges, and they're considered so much lesser and have so much less opportunities because of that.
When I was a kid, my father worked one job, 40 hours. We went on vacation, bought a car, mortgaged the house for 40 hours. We had time to spend together as a family. Can't do it anymore. Can't do it anymore. The wage is too low.
I don't think we're going to get another shot of a Bernie Sanders in my lifetime, and I'm only 22 years old.
The most important thing is that we show up in big numbers at the polls on Tuesday and that we caucus all weekend, so fingers crossed for Bernie.
Right now, we're following a controversy, though, involving more than 100,000 Democrats
who were purged from voter lists.
What's happening today is people are coming here to polling places like the one you're seeing behind me, and they're trying to vote, and they're not on the list, and they're instead being handed an affidavit ballot.
It has been reported to us from voters and voting rights monitors that the lists in Brooklyn contain numerous errors, including the purging of entire buildings and blocks of voters from the voting list.
Now, I was in the military, and one thing they tell you is that the person who signs the check is the boss. The person who pays the money is the boss. And so as a taxpayer, I am now standing here in front of all these cameras and the American people and say, shut the fucking election down until everything is taken care of. But when the Democrats switch registration, all of a sudden nobody gets fired. Oh, okay, so you're going to look at us as citizens and say we're morons. You're going to insult the people who elected you and really look at us and tell us that you shouldn't be standing out here with us. Just as mad.
I've been here since 6 o'clock this morning, and this is the first year that I've seen new books. But it's also the first time where you have people coming back and they're saying, hold up, I voted last year. I always vote here. Why am I not in this book? Why am I not registered? If you want to give it a fair share, not a big amount, out of 100, I say 40 voted and 60 turned themselves around because they wasn't represented in the proper documents that's supposed to be supported. Don't ever let them turn you around, because that's what they want you to do. Turn around and have to settle for who you're going to settle for.
When I got to the polling place, I was refused, and the people at the polling place told me that I was at the wrong polling place. And then I insisted. I stayed there for 20 minutes while they looked me up, and finally they found my name. It was just appalling. Nobody knew what was going on.
I mean, I think this increasingly puts the nomination out of Bernie's reach without flipping a whole lot of superdelegates, which, considering he hasn't raised money for them and Hillary has, and like she's been a member of the party and he just joined the party, like I think it's pretty much out of Bernie's reach now.
And then he lost the New York primary, which sucked. You know, it was clear that he wasn't going to win. And that was very, very upsetting because the process was not a fair process.
Everywhere that there was an open primary, Bernie did much, much better. Basically, in order to vote in the New York primaries, as New Yorkers found out, some of them far too late, right, is to make sure that only those registered as Democrats or as Republicans can vote for people in those corresponding parties. So closed primaries tend to disclude independents, obviously, Green Party candidates in New York. That affected the Working Families Party.
You are completely ineligible to vote in this.
And so all of this, the closed primary included, is a way of kind of safeguarding against rapid change.
Who cares? Who cares about party affiliation? I want to vote. I want to vote for this guy. You know, why do I have to put a D in front of my name to vote for somebody? It's silly. And it's just a way for them to keep the people in power that they want in power. And that's exactly what you saw.
There's no comparison at that time between the campaign that Hillary was running and the campaign that Bernie was running. She is contradictory to everything that Bernie's campaign stood for. You know, she's the epitome of why his campaign was so popular. You know, there were ultimately opposites, and because of the DNC, he was forced to support her.
You can call me Uncle Sam. Well, you know, Uncle Sam is a propaganda machine. Started back in the day to get soldiers to recruit for the Army. And today, I work for the military-industrial complex. I work for the big banks. So we got to make sure all these industries are just taken care of. I've got my Uncle Sam bills right here, and I am buying people's votes. So I am making it rain for them votes.
Rain, so come see your boy.
It warms my heart
to see people of all generations coming together and saying, we're not fooled by this show that the Democratic Party puts on. To pretend as though they represent the poor and the oppressed. We certainly understand it today that behind all of that puppeteering, it represents the capitalist 1%. You Bernie or bust people still want to fight. And you want to transform the system. And you want economic, social, and racial justice. Power to the people. Thank you.
Most people who were voting for Bernie Sanders before took the okay, well, I don't want Trump, lesser of two evils, vote for Hillary. The politics of fear, it's gotten us to the point that we're at now. Two people who, in every opinion poll, are hated just about equally by the majority of the population, which is just insane.
We can choose the establishment, or we can just omit our choice, because our choice has already been made and our message has already been lost. I didn't believe her, but I still voted for her, you know, because I didn't want Trump to be president.
Hi, can I help you, ma'am?
Do you mind if I take a picture?
Here, take a picture. Is that fair? Here you go, $5, ma'am.
All right, now I get to take your picture. That's your flag.
Today is election day, and hopefully a very significant day in United States history.
Yes to love. Yes to respect. Yes to diversity.
That's a lot of counties. It's a lot of math to do. So
Everybody is on pins and needles trying to figure out what's going to happen next. You know, we've been building up to this crescendo moment, and now we're here to see exactly what the outcome is going to be. We are praying and hopeful that Hillary comes out the winner, the next president of these United States of America.
Donald Trump, elected President of the United States.
Look at that. Someone got a projector.
All of us agitate, protest, obstruct, resist,
Yes.
organize. Don't go backwards.
Yes.
Forward.
Yes.
We had all those big protests before the Iraq War. And once the war started, everybody stopped protesting. We got to keep this up. Just like Occupy Wall Street. This time we keep it up. And we don't stop till he's out of there. All right, let's go to Trump Tower!
The future of this country really depends on how this opposition will fight against the people who are now in power.
Now that Trump is the president, everything kind of changes in that we're going to be on the defensive. If they come after my younger brother's marriage equality rights, I'm fighting on that. If they come after my friends who are Muslim, I'm going to be standing with them. It's a big list. If they come after abortion rights, I'm going to be standing with them. There's no way of knowing how many things Donald Trump is going to affect or going to try and take away that are earned rights that we have fought for. But on every single one, I feel connected to it, and I'm going to be fighting for them.
Yeah, I think that in the long run things will be better, but the next 4 years are going to be a struggle.
We can build a multiracial, progressive movement for justice, and that young people really are ready to fight.
You know, everybody here knows, in a democracy, we disagree with our neighbors, we disagree with our wives and our husbands. That's America. Okay, that's good. Every important issue facing the American people, whether it is raising the minimum wage to a living wage, whether it is pay equity for women, whether it is rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure and creating millions of good-paying jobs, whether it is making public colleges and universities tuition free, whether it is demanding that billionaires like Donald Trump and his friends start paying their fair share of taxes. It is time. No, that's not Bernie. No. It really is not. No, I mean this very sincerely. I appreciate your love, and it is mutual. It is mutual. I love you all. And we are motivated by love, unlike some who are motivated by hatred. But brothers and sisters, if there's any message I have today, it is not Bernie. It is all of us together.
I believe that there is a God. I call him Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, but I know that, others believe in different things, but into whoever you believe in, just believe and keep up your faith. Show your kids how to be moral. Let's make a new society today and for the next generation. When they're 10, before you know it, they're congressmen. You know what I mean? And time is not floating. The years are like weeks. The years are like months, the months are like weeks, and the weeks are like days, and the days are like hours, and the hours are like minutes. So before you know it, your kid will be whom you groomed him to be. You know what I mean? So let's make a new generation of goodness and love, peace, without all this killing each other. Because man will be his downfall from the biblical understanding of a part of it. But if I was y'all, I'd reread that and try not to make it go to that route. But we can change our future.